Sierra and Ben Alcia, and I have asked them in this early interview I did with them what motivated them to get out there and try to save lives. Here they are.
For the simple reason, I have a kind heart, and right now we're in need. We need right now. We need from A to Z, all kind of food, equipment. We need. So I have that stride in me.
Right.
Yeah, I went down there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
For me,
Ben, you go ahead too.
For me, it's just a feeling that it just overwhelmed me. I was pacing back and forth in my house. Quite a few of my friends all saw the reaction that I had, and for some odd reason, I was just drawn felt compelled to come down here. I didn't feel that I should be doing anything but this, as a respect to those that were here and that were working in their day-to-day lives. I just felt compelled to have to come here. It was just a feeling that consumed me.
Juan, you start and tell us about what it's like to go down into that rubble, what it smells like, what it feels like, what the heat's like.
The heat is intense. The smell. You have people, flesh, all over. The heat, as I went into a couple of the voids with the firemen, and as you go in underneath the rubble, it gets hotter and hotter. Sometimes maybe the temperature was maybe over 100 and something. Right. The firemen pull a hose in, they hose it down, they try and cool it off. You go through the rubble, the paper, the insulation, the steel, everything. You just push it to the side and try and find someone. You call, hey, hello, someone there, someone there. You try and listen for a response. You tap on the steel beams to try and get a response, maybe somebody to tap back. It's incredible. I mean, we try and do what we can with what we got.
Well, Ben, you talk about your successes. What have you been able to do so far? Who have you been able to save in the last 2 days?
My success, I'd say, for being in here, the 2 firemen that were pulled out today, I would say that was something that was overwhelming. I mean, the joy that you felt. And it's a surreal experience being down here, because it's odd as you see everyone together from all walks of life. Regular,
tell us, Ben, tell me about what it was like to locate those 2 firemen in the rubble.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was an eerie feeling, because when everybody's searching here, and all the firemen and all the police and everyone collectively are searching, they all wave hands, and they bring their hands up, and they actually they make everyone get quiet. And that was only, if it goes to a dead silence, only because they're trying to see if they can listen or they can hear for any kind of movement or anyone calling to them. To then hear that silence change to a sudden roar. When I mean a roar like a football game, and then them pull a man out of a hole, and you see him come down and able to walk on his own 2 feet, that is indescribable. I mean, that just brings a feeling of joy, and then you realize you know what you're doing here. You know, as insignificant as you may feel at times.
And those 2 fellas, those 2 firefighters, spent almost 48 hours. They spent almost a day and a half down there in that rubble, all alone in the dark.
Yes, they did. And I guess because of their training and also their willingness to live is what was able to make them survive and pull out.
Let me ask
the same souls as a fireman.
Let me ask you, what's been the reaction of the professionals around you? You guys are volunteers. You go in there for no money, and you're just doing this because you're good guys. What's been the reaction of the pros you worked with?
They've all applauded us. The firemen, they lend out their hands. I mean, they tip their hats to us. They thank us the same way I thank them, because they've given their lives for us. And they don't even know us. I mean, a fireman goes into a flame, or a fireman goes into a blaze, or like those poor 200 souls that are in there, and hopefully more than half of them are alive now, and they go in there and they give of themselves. We're giving of ourselves, so they see that and they thank us. We offer them water when we can.
Yeah, you're coming across some pretty gross material. You're finding body. Tell us about that and what that's like down there to see these, pieces of people. Juan.
It's insane. It's undescribable. It's insane. The odor, the stench, how it's very eerie. It's disturbing to come across the flesh and the body parts. As you know, Juan and I have been in there, and we've been in the trenches. You come up with different parts, and it's odd, and it's sad in one regard to see everybody just become methodical. They find a body part, they remove it, they pull it, they bag it, and they just pass it down the assembly line. It actually becomes like second nature, you know, but everybody
Sure.
has that one mission. While you find a body part, maybe under there you might find someone alive.
Ben, as a human being, and you're all human beings obviously down there looking for other human beings, do you make a connection between the people, the body parts you're finding, and what those people's lives were like just a day and a half or 2 days ago, and how this all happened to them?
Well, as to the people, they're from all walks of life. Yesterday we found an Oriental lady, found the legs of a dark-skinned man. I mean, you don't know who's who and what's what there. There's no such thing whether it's black, white, pink, purple, or orange. You find arms, you find legs, torsos. We found yesterday a torso, and it was identified through the spine. There was no legs, no arms on it. One of the medics flipped it over, and it was some blood stains on the spine, and that's how it was identified. And the dogs, these dogs are doing such an impeccable job.
Really?
I mean, you see a dog eating a human being, but that's what they're trained for. They send the dogs in, and when you see a dog chewing on something, that's a person.
Now let me ask you about the noise level. Can you make out, are people all, do you have sonar devices? Has anybody got extra sensitive equipment to try to hear people down there? How are they going about that? How are you guys doing that?
Oh, yeah, there's all kind of equipment. Yesterday there was some Army guys walking around with these probes. They had like these shades on their face, and I guess those were televisions or screens inside there. Yeah. And they stuck like a 15-foot pole into the cracks and the crevices, and they look and it's sound. And they look and turn, and if they see something, if they see something, you have guys walking around like with Geiger counters, I guess, or something, picking up sound. You know, like we were saying earlier, when they put the hands up in the air, that means dead silence. You have to go quiet. The firemen stop cutting, they stop hosing the fire down, and you try and listen for a response for someone, anyone.
You know, the building is 110 floors high just 2 days ago, and people were working on floors way up that high. And we heard earlier tonight, Juan and Ben, that some fellow may be alive who fell from the 103rd floor. Does that seem real to you guys when you're there?
Well, it can be real. Let's say, for instance, if you're standing on a piece of concrete, and let's say you're catching like a free ride, like on a slide.
Sure.
You just slide down. If I'm standing right now on concrete, I could go down with the slab. Don't forget the weight of that concrete or whatever, the steel is going down. And if you're stable on it, you just catch a free ride. And when you land, you're going to land and it's going to hurt. But you might break a bone, you might break an arm.
You still could survive, especially if you have like steel and you have cross beams and you have members coming across you. If you do have that and you're fortunate enough to be stuck under there, then that's what starts a void. That's what they call a void. And to get back to the other question you had asked, which is more surreal to me than finding the body parts, it's odd sifting through the papers, and it's odd to sift and find computer disks and to find computers and to find papers and to find
people's
things
family
that have been
pictures.
Signatures.
Guys that had pictures on their desk, in their drawers. People's mail. We've read people's mail.
Name tags.
I found wallets from some man from Elmhurst, credit cards, money, pocketbooks. You're finding everything. And
Things
you look at these pictures.
Life.
You look at these pictures, and you're saying, "Wow, this person is here." Maybe it could be a picture of their family member, but family members are here.
Yeah.
If they're not here, they were out there. So
let's talk about the future.
So
how long
crazy.
can you? Ben and Juan, how long do you think you can stick at this and be away from your jobs? I mean, you're going to stick at this for a couple more days. How long are you going to work at it?
Money to me right now, that's the least of my worries right now.
Yeah.
God will take care of me.
However long
We're
this
good
takes,
people, and God will take care of us.
However long they allow us in there. See, that's the other thing. And the other problem is that we're having is now that they're getting down deeper into the rubble, they're only having specialized individuals like now that they escorted us out because they don't want regular civilians in there or contractors or carpenters because of the fact that they need iron workers there. Because
well, I hope everybody
unstable.
I'm just going to read your names out, Juan Sierra and Ben Alisea, and I just hope that everybody remembers you two fellas, because you're the good news. Your heroism is obvious, and your generosity is splendid, and it's great to have you on the show. It makes people feel a little better in a terrible day. Thanks for joining us, and good luck as you continue your sacrifice.